Yo,
What's good, y'all?
what is happening, people?
Welcome
Let me-
to Random Thoughts with the Rev and Brother Johnsy.
Yo, yo, yo. The exciting show where you never know where it's going to go.
You know it.
That was kind of cool, huh? That little
Yeah.
rhyme right there.
It's,
Oh, before we get running, let's throw up the best seasoning blends on the planet.
Willow
Willow
Spring
seasoning.
seasoning. So natural you think it's the 70s all over again.
For real, though. It's good stuff. And if you use Johnsy 2022 at checkout, you can save yourself 10%. It's all down in the clicker or ticker right here on the bottom. So, yeah, man. How's it going?
It's good, brother. It's good. I think we left off last week. We finished up Spain with
Yeah, with the
the
Basque
Basque
Region.
region.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to start digging into Portuguese cuisine and the culture behind it. And all good things from Portugal.
Yeah, which is where linguiça comes from, which everybody knows me. Who knows me?
Some of the
Love me
best
some.
sausage you can have, man. Making
I'm,
Johnsy hungry already.
I know. It's just got me thinking about when I do Matanza this year. I want to try and make some like legit stuff. Like it's not all ground. It's all like just really finely chopped with a knife, so it's real chunky. And I
You
want to
know
try
who'd be
and
a
do.
good guy to talk to about that?
Hmm.
Here on the Dude Network, we have a good friend of the
Oh
network,
yeah.
guy by the name of Bill
Dumas.
Dumas, the sausage sensei himself.
Yeah.
Word on the street is he's going to be coming back on the show in another week or two, something like that.
Yeah, very. I know it's coming up. I know it's coming
Yeah.
up. I don't remember the date, so my apologies. But
But yeah, he'd be a great dude to talk to about that.
that's a great idea. I'll message him.
Yeah.
So, what's the big exciting thing, man, about Portugal?
Well,
It's a tight secret over there, man. You can't. It's not like you could just find documentary after documentary of
yeah,
Anthony Bourdain and all these other chefs walking through the streets showing
yeah.
off.
It's not like going to Tuscany or Paris or,
Yeah. Or
Japan.
San Sebastian or wherever.
Yeah, and that's one of the beautiful things about it. It's definitely a well kept and guarded secret,
hmm
which, uh, me preferring everything the traditional fashion, man, the best way. That's kind of a good thing in my world.
Yeah.
One of the biggest influences in Portugal and the Portuguese cuisine are two major factors. So, poverty is a big thing in cuisine. What people don't
hmm
realize, some of the best things come from impoverished nations. And that's a big part of their cuisine is using what you have at hand.
And they use every bit of
Literally
any
everything.
more than anybody would even imagine when we say every bit.
Yep. One of the other big influences is the Spaniards when they had the Great Spanish Armada. You're talking they're right in the middle of the spice trade. So you have a bunch of fishermen in an impoverished nation who get caught up in the Spanish spice trade.
Mm.
So you have these amazing layers of ideas in the culinary world and flavor complexes, stuff that you're probably never going to see anywhere else in the world.
We got a guest from over the pond, man. A fellow Johnsy. Sorry to
Oh,
interrupt.
nice.
Yeah, shout out, man. That's cool.
That's very,
Welcome.
very nice.
Yeah, and they're right there on the coast. They're the last part of
Absolutely.
getting out to the ocean to go anywhere. So if
And
you're
that's
gonna,
kind of the other side of the coin is they're also the first port of call when you're
mm-hmm,
coming back.
exactly.
One of the interesting things is in the winemaking world, so fortified wine is called port.
Mm-hmm.
Portugal has a grand history of port production and exports. Some of the best port wine you'll ever have comes from Portuguese vineyards. Do you know
It's
why they
actually
call it Do you know why they call it port?
It has to do with something with the port side of the boat.
Absolutely. So on these shipping routes and trade routes, you have to keep wine in the shade. So if the sun's beating down on all it for 6, 9 months, it's going to turn into vinegar.
Yeah, it's done.
So on the trade routes, if you put all the barrels of wine, especially fortified wine, on the port side of the ship, they would be in the shade when they were sailing.
There it is there.
So you get port wine.
I bet you everybody else thinks there's some illustrious story behind that, and that's always how it is. It's always,
Simplicity of design,
yeah.
my friend.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, so if you know anything about interior decorating, there's this color called chartreuse,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of a bluish green, kind of like an aquamarine, but a little bit muted. So there's a beverage they make in France called chartreuse, and it's like 98% pure alcohol with a bunch of different herbs and
Oh boy,
aromatics added to it. And
holy cow!
because these herbs are steeped in that strength of a liquor, that's the color. So they named the color after the drink.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there it is. There. Yeah, it makes sense.
Nothing that complex, man.
Yep.
And speaking of interesting liquors, so if anybody has any preconceived notions, absinthe is going to be the biggest letdown of your life.
That's
Okay.
Fact Jack 100.
I've actually had the pleasure of actually drinking a bottle of absinthe from the 1800s. And there's always this mystique about it because there's lots of accessories involved.
Yeah, you
You know,
melt a sugar cube and you got to drop it in just right and this and that.
yeah,
And you have to have it with another drink or whatever. I can't remember it all.
there's like a specific glass you have to use and something called an absinthe trowel. It looks like a flat spoon with a bunch of perforated holes in it and stuff. You melt the sugar cube over it, and there's this vessel that drips water into it, and it's very esoteric and very, we have this kind of concept of, well, it's from the 1800s and there's all this stuff involved and little green fairy, and you're gonna like hallucinate. You're not. You're gonna drink something that tastes like black licorice and like kerosene. That's pretty much what you're gonna get. It's not spectacular. It's not like ayahuasca or psilocybin mushrooms. You're gonna get let down.
Yeah.
And it
Hey,
doesn't taste very good.
here's this is right up your alley. So our friend from over the pond, he says, same with the word posh. It comes from port out, starboard home, because the rich wanted port side out on the journeys out and starboard on the way back. There you go.
Yeah,
That fun facts all over the place, folks.
good stuff, man.
Right?
Good stuff. Hey, well, since we're talking to a friend overseas, how was your Guy Fawkes Day?
Guy Fawkes Day.
Yeah, that's not
No.
just from V for Vendetta.
No,
Guy
I
Fawkes is
know that, bro. Get out of here. I'm a little more educated than that.
oh yeah, that reminds me. Since these are interesting celebrations we're talking about,
You have to do with sugar. It tastes like ours.
it sure does.
It
So
pretty
does
much
anybody?
does anyway.
So do you know what today is, right? November 10th,
Oh, yeah. Remember? No.
1775, in Philadelphia, in a bar called Tun Tavern.
No, bro. It's remember the 5th of November. Didn't you
That's
watch
Guy
the
Fawkes.
documentary?
Sure, but I'm talking about something different.
I'm just kidding, dude.
So in Philadelphia, in a bar called Tun Tavern in 1775, November 10th,
Uh,
an illustrious organization was born,
America.
and they will never let us forget it because today is the 247th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. Happy birthday to all you
Oh,
jarheads at
yeah,
training.
that's right. All right. Hey.
Semper
Come on
Fi,
now.
brother.
No, we got it. Yeah, Semper Fi. That's awesome. Shout out to the Marines. My grandpa was a Marine.
I won't hold that against him.
I think he was a navigation pilot.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool.
He's a smart dude. So,
You pass on any
but
of those genes?
I promise I'm smart. I promise. It doesn't always show. But if any of you follow me, you can see my skills at tong twirling and flipping and tricking.
You
Go
know,
check
people
that
always
out.
ask why you got to click the tongs before you use them.
Otherwise,
I contest that it's like starting a lawnmower.
yeah,
You gotta give it a good pull before you start it. That's
yeah. It's like I mean, Conan the Barbarian had I have
yeah,
the power.
yeah.
Every every
Thundercats,
every every
Rhino, sure.
yeah, everything has everything, and barbecue has.
You gotta click the tongs, or
I mean, are
it's
you
not.
even a man if you don't double click?
If you don't double click, are you even barbecuing, bro?
It's probably how all the earthquakes happen all the time in California. Is guys are idiots are out there trying to barbecue without double clicking.
Hey, you can't barbecue fake meat, bro.
Trust me,
Okay.
bro. We invented the tri-tip. We got real meat here.
Uh, the Rev's gonna get on his soapbox right here because you know what? I have a
There's
family member who's a vegetarian, and it's cool because even he's like, I still eat fucking bacon. Stop
that's awesome.
trying to make fake meat. If you want to eat meat, just eat meat. Okay? I
That's
don't
what I'm
care if you
saying.
make a cheeseburger that fake bleed.
I don't understand it.
Like, they're like, well, this tofu cheese kind of tastes. No, it doesn't. It tastes like garbage. Trust me.
Oh, it is. I won't do it, bro. I won't do it.
Like, don't tell me that tofu turkey tastes like turkey. Stop trying to make meat out of stuff that's not meat. End
You
of story.
can't. It's not meat. It's not meat. You
I'm
can't
just saying.
say can't can't call it impossible. Nothing. This shindig, whatever Houdini, whatever you're trying to call it.
I don't
It,
care what
it
kind of
ain't me.
Harry Potter witchcraft voodoo shit you're coming up with. It's not a cheeseburger.
No way, dude. This is amazing. I love how your channel is completely meat related and I'm a vegetarian. Our buddy from across the pond. Hey, the last few episodes of this particular show has definitely been about meat.
We're a
But
little
yeah,
meat,
we're a bunch of barbecue and cooks. So
you know,
sorry.
we're a little meat centric.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Hey, I still love my vegetables, homie. I eat.
Vegetables are great. You can do
I got a
amazing
garden
things
out back.
with like vegetarian cuisine. In fact, I once worked at a university and I was their vegan and vegetarian chef. I know all kinds of amazing things to do with vegetables, but I don't claim it's meat.
And
End of story.
and like there's a whole protein thing, and you can't get all the proteins that a human body needs from plants. You cannot do it. It's not possible.
You
But
can,
you
but you
can
have to
get
take supplements.
yeah, but you can get like 80 or 90% of it from just meat.
I'm just saying, like, you can make amazing things.
And not to mention that the fact that the best food for your brain is good fats, including the ones that come from newsflash animals.
You ever heard about the carnivore diet? There's a bunch of like celebrities who've done the carnivore diet where they eat nothing but meat, and you have higher brain function, better sleep patterns,
Yeah,
and you end up
there's
way more fit than not. You cut out trans fats, you cut out starches, carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates. You just eat meat. That's it.
there's a famous psychologist, I believe from Canada, and him and his daughter have an autoimmune disease. And the only thing that were like they were at the end, like she was dying basically, and I don't know if somewhere they found somewhere on some blog or some craziness like, oh, try eating just meat, and they did, and they're totally fine. So,
And here's the thing: when you're talking about a balanced diet, anything that has been processed is not part of your balanced diet. Even if you're eating vegetables in addition to your proteins, your meats, fish, whatever. If it's been processed, like, hey, I'm gonna have rice. Well, don't get a box of minute rice that has been processed with an inch of its life.
mm-hmm.
If you're gonna eat tortillas, because we all love tacos on this show,
Yeah,
eat corn tortillas versus flour tortillas. There's a big difference. The flour that's used to make
yeah,
bread and flour
bleach
tortillas.
process and all this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They even have
bleached,
yeah.
bleached,
So
folks.
yeah. So if you go to the grocery store and get like the log of cookie dough, they've made it so processed that you can eat it out of the tube. It says it right on the label.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing.
I've been eating
We
regular cookie dough with raw egg in it my whole life.
41
So,
years of eating
yep.
that out of grandma's friggin' bowl. Still here. But
I mean, I literally just did it within a week too. So
how many
here I
times you
am.
lick the spoon when you're making brownies and stuff? Whatever.
I'm just saying.
So if you read the fine print on that ready-to-eat cookie dough, it says irradiated flour, ultra over pasteurized eggs.
Hey, you want to know what's funny? Speaking of eggs, is I've raised chickens most of my life
Sure.
since since like the age of 9, I think, and there was like an argument. They're like someone was really excited because they got brown eggs and they're healthier.
I saw that. I saw that video, dude, and they're going nuts because their eggs are brown. It's like,
Yeah.
they
I'm
come
gonna,
out
I'm
that
gonna,
way.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna explain it all. Exactly how you get white eggs versus brown eggs versus green eggs versus speckled eggs or whatever. The breed and color of the chicken, folks. That's all it is. There's all poof, the magic.
So if you want to try something really cool, since you have chickens, go to Sam's Club or Costco or whatever and buy a bunch of red chili flakes.
Oh, we feed it to them all the time.
If you isolate their diet to nothing but chili flakes for that cycle of egg production, you will have solid red egg yolks.
No way. Will they be spicy or do they process out the spice?
They process out all the spice and they
Because they
also
don't even taste it. They don't even
yeah, they
taste
don't
the
have a
heat. They
reaction
don't
to
have
taste.
heat, whatever. Yeah, and so like it's really, but it kills parasites in them. So we sprinkle it all in the where they, peck all the time.
So there's a guy named Chef John Besh from Louisiana, and he does farm to table. He has a restaurant
Mm.
located in a micro farm. And what another thing you can do is if you go to the store and get a specific color of bell peppers,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're green or yellow or orange or purple or whatever, if you isolate their diet for just that cycle, just like with the
It's like 2 days for an egg or whatever it is.
yeah.
It's not they.
So if you feed them nothing but like purple bell peppers, you're gonna get purple egg yolks.
Okay, I have pepper plants. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Like for real. Like for that like one cycle of
Yeah,
egg
I just
gestation,
I
just
just
feed them
got to
just
put.
that.
Oh, they won't. They know because we throw garden trim in there all the time, and they won't touch their lane. And like we get them really good feed from a farm place, but uh, they won't touch that. They won't touch anything if we throw fresh stuff in there. That's all they want. So if I start flinging peppers in there, that's all they're gonna touch. That's legit. I want some red eggs.
I'm telling you, dude, just try it.
Or I could just, you know what? I could dye their food pellets with red dye 40.
Yeah, like Mountain Dew Code Red and
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
else
yeah,
in America.
yeah.
Sure.
That'll
Because
work.
why do anything all natural? That's good for
Yeah.
you. We don't
Right.
do that. That's not a thing, apparently.
Uh, speaking of stuff that's red, linguiça, and it's delicious.
It's one of the greatest sausages you can ever have, man.
See, I imagine that there are places somewhere in Portugal and in the Azores and stuff, maybe where you could probably not in the Azores as much because I don't want to get into that. I want the traditional stuff, but I bet you they serve up crazy little plates of some linguiça that has never made it anywhere but that plate where they
Oh yeah,
serve it. And
well
that
that's just
I'm trying to. Oh my god.
that's very much like the Spanish tapas or
Yeah, yeah.
the cured meats in Italy. Like each village, and even down to each family, when they
Hmm.
butcher a whole hog and they make linguiça, they have their recipe.
I gotta find me some. I gotta
Good
talk to my.
luck.
I know. I'm like they don't like. I've asked like, hey, what do you guys? I've watched them for years make blood sausage for 9 years. Every time we bleed the pig, they're over there with a bowl full of salt,
Yep.
making sure it don't coagulate, getting it all good, and then they get it to coagulate with all the other stuff in it. It's like a crazy process,
Yep.
and it's only the ladies that do it. All the
Of course.
grandmas, all the aunts,
Oh yeah.
and that's what cracks me up when people like they'll even start like they cover like oh sensitive photos or whatever
Uh,
because you're butchering or something or whatever, and it's like,
yeah, because we're seven.
dude,
So
I'm watching like 6-year-old girls learn from their fucking grandma and aunts and stuff mixing blood sausage with. I mean, yeah, they got gloves on, but with
yeah.
their hands, not with spoons, with their hands.
So most people know that my wife and children are Native American. So part of their naming ceremony, you have to butcher a sheep to prepare all the food for the ceremony.
That's gangster, dude. I love this kind of stuff right here.
And we totally did that in my backyard.
Yeah, that's
Like her uncle showed up with a sheep on a leash.
yeah.
Like what?
So like these pigs get dropped off like a couple days before from a farm that we know about, that or we know everything that they're being fed and all that,
Mhm.
and they it's a little setup pen. It's only there for Montanza, and it's like every year he's been doing it for like 11. This will be like his 12th year, I think. And I made it to the party a couple years late, unfortunately, but still got almost. This will be like my ninth or 10th year or something.
Nice.
Uh, but every year he does something to make it way better for the next year. So like
Nice.
he had this like one like big freezer, like a walk-in, but it's like a double door that you could step in basically.
Yeah.
And like then he got a big one where you could walk in, and then we built a roller system. He built a roller system for it where you just hang it on a hook like an actual meat factory. Then he
Nice.
cemented all of it with a French drain, and like now it's like straight pig
Nice.
production out there, bro. It's so awesome. And he learned from his dad, who grew up in the Azores as a butcher and was his butcher his whole life in California, his whole
That's how
entire
you do
life.
it.
Yeah, and we still use like it's crazy. We still use his dad's bone saw. His
Nice.
dad's this. His dad. Oh, this was his dad's trailer. 'Cause-
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really really neat to be a part of.
That's one of those things that, you get that opportunity, man. You can't pass that up. Being all those things that pass down, the knowledge and wisdom.
And like there's still like they have definitely incorporated a lot of modernism into it.
Sure.
He's injured. He's not as young as he used to be. He can't
Yeah.
hurl hogs around and do all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff like he used to.
That's just
And
life.
plus we there's one year we did 18 pigs in a weekend. That's a lot of butchering and a lot
Yeah.
of hogs to move around.
Yeah. You're not
And
doing that with a meat cleaver and a fillet knife.
yeah, and I mean it's not like at most there's like 10 people all weekend butchering, and like me and my buddy Tyler are at the table like 90% of it because we're just addicted, you know.
Yeah.
And
That's one of those weekends you're tired Sunday night,
oh,
but
oh
you earned
yeah,
it.
yeah. But they still cook like they like steam slash boil the blood sauces in the same cauldron that came over from the Azores. It's like
That's awesome.
tradition, tradition, tradition.
That's one of those things, man. And that's something
Hmm.
that not too many people get to see. That's a very kind of
No,
private, exclusive kind of club.
yeah, and it is because like it's me and so he goes him and my parents go to church and my sister used to work with him. He's a really good family friend. And since we've been doing we're all good friends.
Yeah,
And then but he's since invited people because he's all about getting your own food, like do this stuff yourself, know what's going up. Oh, my buddy Robert jumped on. What's up, buddy?
what's good, brother Robert?
um and so but 80% of it is his like direct family. It's either his nieces and their family, his kids and their family, his aunt and her family. It's all
Yeah, that's kind of how it should be, man.
yeah,
It's like we were talking about last week. There's a communal experience
yeah,
about
exactly.
sharing these kind of things, and
And that's all
passing it on
like,
to the next generation.
that's all like I take my granddaughter down there, and last time so the year before she wanted to go, and then like she was into it for like 30 seconds, played with some kids, and then wanted to leave. Which,
Yeah, of
hey,
course.
whatever.
Okay, sure.
And I don't know if it was the direct year before. It might have been a few anyway. But the last year she went duck and goose hunting with me the morning of, and was helping me. She was like flipping my goose flag while we're calling them in. It was awesome, dude.
Nice. Very
And
cool.
and then we go to Matanza because that's what she wanted to do. That's what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm going to go hunting first, so we'd have to get up early. And, she was all for it, blah, blah, blah. And like, but this year she was like, I would cut these little finger holes and she would like help me pull back the skin. Like she was, and like,
Nice.
even if she doesn't like ever want to do it for sure herself, she'll at least like know, like this
Yeah.
can be done. Like if we have to, we need to figure this out, or whatever.
And those are the life experiences that are kind of lacking these days. Like, how many people know how to like trap or tan your own hides? Or, that was one of the things, like when we butchered that sheep, you have an entire sheep for like full of wool to do something
Hmm.
with. So now I have
Yeah.
this huge
Oh,
pillow
we'll
on my
just get rid
couch.
of it.
Yeah, no.
No. Yeah. Not even an option.
That's one of the things. For me, it's not just butchering the meat. So like if you get a deer or an elk, or you have to butcher a sheep or whatever, there's other stuff. You can tan hides, you can make cool
Hmm.
stuff out of it. You just have to have that knowledge
Yeah.
and that experience.
Yeah. Like most of the skin, there people will take and use for chicharrones, right?
Absolutely.
Myself, I give all the skin away that anybody wants except for on my belly. All my belly, I leave the skin on.
Nice. Very
And even when I cure all the way through smoking, that skin stays on.
nice.
Now, once it's smoked and cured, you're not gonna want to eat the skin, even if you fry it up. But what I do, well, maybe I'm not a huge chicharrones guy, or anyway, at least the kind in the bag. Maybe like some fresh, real deal stuff. That's a whole nother topic. But anyway,
I'm gonna give
I,
you
I
an
slice
idea.
it all up and use it for dog treats.
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's
gonna
not like
give
it
you
goes to waste.
I'm gonna give you an idea that's gonna blow your mind, that you're totally gonna try and love it. So take your
Okay.
chicharrones, stick them in a food processor, just dry, nothing else, and blend all of them into a powder. Okay. So next time you go to fry something,
Like the kind out of in the bag.
either way, you can do it fresh. You can,
Uh huh.
as long as they're, chicharrones,
Mm-hmm.
blend them in a food processor till they're like a fine powder, and you're gonna use that as a breading.
All right. I've heard. Yeah, I think they sell, some mocked up version of that.
Yeah, but do it yourself because then you get
No,
extra
for sure.
buzzworthy.
Yeah, yeah.
But like next time you try to fry up some chicken, dude, do chicken fingers out of that, and
That's
it's
probably a lot.
amazing.
Yeah, and it's definitely better than dredging it through flour, bleached and freaking processed. And
Double O,
yeah,
extra irradiated. Yeah, give that a shot, dude, because it'll add an extra layer of flavor and texture, dude. Comes out
the
amazing.
texture, yeah, is probably way better.
Way better.
Way better. Yeah. All right. All right. See, I'm I'm always down to try new things, except for on a couple of deals. I won't eat beans. I don't eat beans. I
No
eat green
frijoles in your
beans.
life, bro?
I eat green beans, lima beans, jelly beans, and Boston baked beans, and the last two are candy. So that's it.
Where do you stand on haggis?
I have never had it, so I can't stand on it.
So everybody thinks haggis is gross. Okay. You know what it is, right?
I know I don't know the traditional recipe, but I know it's boiled in a sheep's stomach.
Yeah. So you take
And it's illegal. It's actually illegal here in the US, real haggis.
same reason
Which
why.
so dumb, dude.
So same reason why Serrano hams are illegal in this country.
Yeah, I know, but so if I butchered a sheep and made some true haggis and the police decided to bust in, like, come on, get the freak out of here.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get a ticket.
Yeah, no, I know I'm not going to jail, but still, I'll throw it at them.
Although I would totally bail you out of jail just for that, just to have my name on the paperwork that you got
I was a part of
for
it.
a haggis.
I was.
I just sitting in the holding tank with all the other guys.
Yeah.
What are you here for? Assault, armed robbery. What'd you get busted for? Haggis.
Like, what's that? I never heard of that.
I never heard anybody doing that.
No, I made it. I made a haggis. Yeah.
So what haggis is, and I'm going to preface this by saying I have a friend of mine who goes to Swansea, Wales, all over Scotland, and he actually got the right to inspect the William Wallace sword collection at the Tower of London.
Oh, wow, cool.
He's a pretty bad dude. But one of his favorite treats in the world is when he goes to like Swansea or he goes to Glasgow or whatever, is having fresh made haggis.
Mm-hmm.
So what haggis is you take a sheep's stomach, and once you've butchered the sheep, what do you do with everything else?
Yeah.
Well, what they do is grind it up, add a bunch of seasoning and spices, and a bunch of barley to it, pack it inside a sheep's stomach, boil it, and then fry it. And then serve it with like green mustard and all kinds of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody here thinks it's gross because of where it comes from. Not the country, like the animal.
No, yeah.
And my buddy Bill's argument against for haggis is you eat eggs, don't you?
So I have a weird thing with eggs because I love eggs, and eggs are seriously like a power food. They're so good for you. But every once in a while, because my brain goes through this stupid neurotic stuff, I'll go, this is an embryo in basically amniotic fluid. Like, I can't do this right now. And like for like a week, I can't eat eggs. It's dumb, but it is what it is.
I'm going to make this so much worse for you right now. Do you know what bloot is?
I have had that. I got tricked into eating one and did not know what it was until the glob slid down my throat. Yeah. Enlighten everybody who doesn't know what the Filipino balut is.
Balut is a gestated duck egg. So when you crack the egg open, you will find a duck fetus. And some places in certain islands in the Philippines, you will see like feathers and shit. That's how long it's been
they're
gestated.
Developed, like the good ones are developed to the point just before they start developing their bones. And that's the kind my buddy got. Because I was like,
that's how it's supposed to be, dude.
He cracked it and he's like, don't look, just do it, dude. And I was like, all right, fine. And I was like, what was that lump? And then they cracked one and showed me, and I'm like, yeah, I literally, my head, like,
You know,
if a human's brain, like that emoji, could actually explode or melt like the cartoons, or your eyes pop out, like, no one has ever been closer than me at that moment. Period. But
I have
hey,
a pretty strong constitution. I'll eat
it,
pretty much anything.
yeah,
There's a list of things I will never eat again, and
and
blute
that's,
is up there. It's like
dude, it's
blute,
just not, it's not
lutefisk,
right.
and like
It's not
surströmming.
right.
Like those are
And
like
what?
the top three right there. Everything
What?
else,
Say those. Say them
surströmming.
again.
Okay, so there's blute,
Yeah.
surströmming, and lutefisk. Top three. Number
Okay, I've
four,
heard. I've heard of
century egg.
lutefisk. I've heard of lutefisk, but what's that middle one?
So okay, so first,
Swarscum?
lutefisk is a white fish.
Yeah.
Oh,
It,
first up, for those who don't know, lutefisk is a
yeah.
white fish that is brined and cured with lye. Like, have you ever seen Fight Club where they burn themselves with that weird chemical? That's what lutefisk is made from. And then they put it in a brine solution with water and salt to clean off the stuff they make soap with. And it kind of, when you eat it, it kind of turns into like this jello in your mouth, but it's like a cured fish.
Oh
Okay.
my.
Just so you understand what
Hey,
this is.
lye is
Okay.
also the
So
stuff that the
lutefisk
mobsters dissolve bodies with. Just so everybody
bodies in.
knows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all the same
Exactly.
lye, folks.
If you've ever seen Full Metal Jacket, there's a scene when Joker comes up on
Hi,
this
honey.
slaughter, and there's this white stuff that's been thrown on them, and that's what that's what lye is, because they're breaking down the bodies. And they make a cured fish out of it. It's big in the Midwest, man.
Oh
Like
no. Tony's all over the
Minnesota.
lutefisk then.
Yeah, oh, we need to make them a basket, bro. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
Christmas
that's
thing.
happening.
Okay,
That
so
is happening.
the other two on the list are century eggs. So if you don't know what century eggs are, they take eggs, just like a dozen eggs, and you let them ferment naturally for 100 days.
And they're like rotten, basic. Yeah.
And they come out like greenish black,
Mm-hmm.
and it's brutal. And the last one, you know what? I might send it to somebody to see if they're going to eat it. Let's see how brave you are, Johnsy. So surströmming,
I would do it on a show. I would try it on a show. If it's that bad, I'll try it on a show.
done. I'm gonna order you some and send it to your house.
I'm not
dude.
doing lutefisk, bro. That's not. Nah, that ain't for me.
So what's surströmming?
But this other one I've never heard of. Yeah.
It comes in a can, and when you get the can is already
I'm out.
distended.
I'm out.
Nope, you already
I'm
said,
out.
dude. Nope. You're a man of your word, Johnson. So now you have to.
I am a man of my word. Oh,
so what they do is they take a series of fish that they ferment and brine and then can.
No. Oh.
And like I said, the fermentation continues within the can, so it like
yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh, and
I don't have to eat this whole can because people this might be a live vomit session. Like I'm not sure how this is gonna go.
One forkful, bro. That's all you got to muscle through. Just one forkful.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Hey, what if it's some weird freaky thing where I'm like, what? This is insane. I'm like that one in a billion that's like, this is delicious. I won't be.
No, you won't. like if I was like crawling through the desert for like a month or two, no
man,
food,
I'm
no
done.
water, and they're like, here's a can of surströmming and a can opener, I'd be like, I'll die.
Hey, Rev,
I'm good.
This is where this show has gotten, bro. oh my gosh, I'm not gonna kiss you for a year. I'm done, and I can't back out. What do I do?
Do it outside.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, 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 no,
Like, you're going to crack the can, hear the hiss, and go, what have I done with my life?
no. As soon as you said can, I was like, oh no, no, I can't. Come on. Oh, all
It's
right.
not like kippers. It's not like,
No, no, no,
canned oysters.
no, no,
No,
no.
no. This is Sursterman.
See,
And
that's like what happened to me with octopus. Is I was on a fishing trip in the San Francisco Bay, and we're all talking about calamari and all delicious seafood, right? And I didn't get seasick there, but when I got off and was all like, it felt like the whole world was just on like this. That was unnerving, but but I walked around the corner and my buddy Eric goes poop and sticks this canned octopus tentacle in my mouth.
over, huh?
Well, and like I took a big old bite because I figured it was like something
Something
good he
good?
was giving me. Yeah, false,
You are incorrect, sir.
false. I mean, I can't wait to have like actual good octopus, like grilled or something. How I see all these amazing dishes of it,
Sure.
but I've been gun shy ever since. And I know that's not how it's going to taste because canned stuff gets funky. And that's
There's,
why as soon as you said canned, I got a little nervous. I'm
bro,
shaking in
it
my
comes in a
boots over here.
can. Sursterman comes in a can like this. It's round, but it's not flat. You know how, like, when you have a or standard soup can or whatever, there's the ring where they seal the can and it's flat, right? It doesn't come like that. These are actually distended. That's how they're supposed to come. Because the natural enzymes in the fish continue to ferment once
What is
it's
this crap called?
it's called surströmming. I'll send you a video or something.
Surströmming.
Yeah.
Don't send me anything about it. Just
Okay.
I just got to get here and I'll eat it. Oh man,
Okay.
what have I gotten myself into?
You stepped in it up to your shins, bro.
Just so everybody knows, watching, this is not going to turn into where John Z is some freaking lab rat from Rev's brain. That's not going to happen. This might only be a one-time deal right here.
You sure
Depends on
you want
how
to be the
bad.
Steve-O of the Dude Network?
No. Been there, tried that stupid crap when I was younger. I'm cool.
Oh, we could hook up a jetpack to a shopping cart. I
Well,
can make
that
that
kind of
happen.
stuff, I'm cool with that kind of stuff, but there ain't no bugs, no porta potty nastiness, crap like that. I'm not stapling my balls to nothing. Like, no.
This is how you know we're getting old, because I had a moment like that a couple weeks ago. Because the Rev is real handy about stuff. I'll fix anything, right? And I put a new roof on my house, right? But I didn't have a ladder. And the first thing my brain went to was junior or like high school watching Jackass, like, all right, I could jump off of that and climb up over there and it'll be fine. And then I went, you're 40, don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, this is great. We finally reached the age where we're like,
that's going to hurt when I fall.
like, I seriously calculate stuff so much now. I'm like, am I 100% sure I can make that? Because I recover a lot slower now.
Yeah. Like, that's going to be like at least 6 weeks of me limping down to the street, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I need a walker after.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. I'm not even sure where we've been tonight.
That's why we call
This,
it.
this has been one of the most random thoughts for sure.
And you know what? Still all food related for the most part.
Most part, yeah. And see, like that's the other thing about the whole me being the Steve-O of the Dude Network. I'm not I'm not eating nothing. This ain't no fear factor for Brandon. Nuh-uh. Not
No
happening.
Rocky Mountain oysters in your future, bro.
No, bro. No.
You sure?
Because while I will admit to this, I will admit to this. While the meat part of it, maybe there's something there, but it's in a human male testicle, there's over a mile of tubing, and you know what floats through that tubing, right, folks?
So here's the
That's
thing.
what kids. That's what the lovely kids are made of. Now, here's the thing: bulls are much larger than mine. I'm not.
And have
I'm not
have more
trying to
fluid. Yeah.
more fluid and more miles of tubing. Nay,
So
nay.
here's the thing.
Nope.
If you eat prairie oysters or Rocky Mountain or whatever you want to call them, it's a texture thing. So if
Yeah.
you eat them and
Oh.
they're smooth, it's just the meat. If you eat them and they're grainy, they weren't expelled prior to cooking.
Oh. Oh boy. I gotta meet.
Johnsy needs a minute.
And that, folks, is why I will never do it because
You're
with
gonna
my
get
luck,
some
I'll bite
texture.
into it, going, please, Lord, be smooth. Please, Lord, be
Why
smooth.
are
And
these crunchy?
why are these? What is that? What is that unpalatable thing? Mm, no, sir. Already agreed to this canned schmiggermonger, whatever it is. Uh, ain't happening. Ain't happening.
Oh, it's happening, bro.
No, the canned, yeah, that's happening. But the other ones, I'm not eating bull testicles. It ain't happening.
You know what? I used to, when I was a kitchen manager, I do all the hiring at a bunch of different establishments. And anytime I'd get some culinary school graduate, some kid who think you'd show up in a chef's coat already for an interview, I'd ask him, so are prairie oysters served on the half shell? If he didn't laugh, I wouldn't hire him.
Oh, man. Oh.
So, in the realm of bizarre food items,
No, you're
uh,
not.
so everyone likes lobster, right? Lobster is a big deal, right?
I mean, I love lobster. As long as it's cooked right. People mess it up. They do.
So there's a sushi restaurant in New York City that serves a white miso lobster soup, and they break down the lobster live in front of you. And the guy does it so fast that when he cuts it in half to remove the tail section to cook in the miso,
Mm.
he props up the rest of the lobster, missing the claws and the tail, and it's still alive. It's one of the animals that's too dumb to know it's just been killed.
Well, I mean, it's basically an insect that lives in
It's a big
seawater.
cockroach, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It
But
is.
there's something a little disconcerting while you're consuming this delicious meal and it's like looking at you.
Yeah, there's lots of people who can't deal with like luau pigs or whole hogs when they cook it with the head on because then they're especially when they're like little roaster pigs or suckling pigs like we saw in Spain and stuff is because then they're like, oh, I'm eating this poor, it's like I don't know if I could eat it when it was squirming though still. If
So
if they walked over and just like cut the ham off of this pig while it was squealing, I'd feel a little differently. You know what I mean?
there's this thing. It's called saganache from Korea, and it's the live tentacles of baby octopi
Mm.
that's served with like sesame oil and soy sauce, and they're still moving and shit.
What is this called again? Because my dad was in
Saganache,
Saganache.
yeah.
All
And
right.
if you're not careful, the suction cups get stuck to your throat while you're swallowing it, and like you feel them moving.
See, like I'm down for the experience, but if that happens, what's the protocol?
You reach in there and you yank it out, dude. That's it.
All right.
There's a lot of things in the culinary realm that are not for the faint of heart. I mean,
No, that's an absolute fact. Absolute fact. And we're not just talking about like Andrew Zimmerman. I'm gonna fly all over the world and eat the nastiest crap that I can find. There's that. You can look at, but
sure.
even natural things that everybody, I mean, people still freak out about raw fish, like freak. And raw tuna is real
Delicious.
delicious, raw yellowtail, bluefin, or whatever.
It's a good
Oh my
ahi,
god,
man.
ahi,
Yeah,
money.
absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
In fact, I love sushi and I do not eat rolls. I hate sushi rolls. I can't handle all the stuff together. It's too many textures or whatever. My palate can't deal with it. But
Too much stuff going on
yeah,
for one bite.
but
For all of
sashimi,
it. Yeah.
like,
Rice and fish. That's it. And that's
yeah.
not like you cook duck. How do you
Mm-hmm.
cook a duck breast? Do you cook it mid rare?
Yeah.
What do you eat chicken mid rare?
Nope.
Why do we make that distinction?
It's a red meat. I don't know. It's different.
It's
I
still
don't know if it's the red meat. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that if if you need to cook beef to medium or whatever, that's fine. But if you cook wild, besides boar, bear, mountain lion, stuff like that you have to get trigonosis and stuff out of,
yeah.
if you are cooking venison or waterfowl past medium rare, I will call you insane.
Yeah. That's
Because
like
in my opinion, you are ruining it.
yeah.
Because you're not if it is not red in the middle, like that reddish, pinkish, the way it's supposed to look when it's medium rare, then there's so much flavor. It's not like beef where it'll still taste like beef. It loses so much of what you're trying to taste, in my opinion.
Exactly. But that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's the psychological aspect. You're still eating mid rare poultry.
Yeah. Yeah. But the other problem is everybody says, I don't like mine bloody. Oh, I don't like blood in my meat. There
Well,
is no
it's not
blood.
blood.
If you know anything about butchery, from the moment as soon as that animal is terminated, the very next step has to be draining every bit of blood out of that animal, or everything is done. It's rotten. It's never going to be good. It's gone. So,
Absolutely.
and I'm not a meat scientist. I am just a guy who butchers with some guys who let him do it. You know, and this is all, look it up if you need to verify it. But I promise you, it's meat proteins and juices from the fats, intermuscular fats, and the water that is in every living creature.
The chemical compounds are myoglobin and hemoglobin, and when those two mix, it turns red.
Well, there it is right there.
Every fiber is meat. There's a difference. So ground meat is not a fibrous meat anymore because it's been ground up.
Mm-hmm.
But any fibrous meat tissue, on some level or another, has iron in it. Okay.
Which is a metal.
So when that's exposed to air and oxygen, it oxidizes. Well, if you've ever seen anything rusty, you understand that turns
red. Everything's just a chemical reaction, folks.
Just like my high school days, bro.
Woo! I'll fist bump that one. Everybody calls it my colorful years.
My colorful years were between 12 and 35.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people probably still say I'm going through a colorful period.
It's just a phase.
It's just a phase. Yeah. That's what my mom said about a bunch of the music that I listen to. I can't wait till you're over this phase. Still blasting it.
I've been hearing that about punk music since I was like 11, dude.
Exactly, dude. I heard it about the whole emo indie movement I was in a part of too. Hey,
I
and
got
we're still going to concerts.
so like 2018, I got to fulfill a life goal, and it's purely because of my dad. My dad was uh, a very interesting. When he was in the service, he's what we would call a cheese dick. He was very straight laced, like very
about the rules and
about the rules,
yeah.
very serious about things. And he was a Vietnam soldier who didn't listen to rock and roll, dude. Exactly. So he married
That's
my
what
stepmom,
the
this amazing woman named Sherry, and Sherry had a record collection. I was
oh,
like 9,
vinyl is my absolute pleasure.
bro, and she had like the original pressings of like Led Zeppelin #4 and shit,
mm,
like the Doors double live album and stuff, and like I would
yeah,
like come home,
I've got all my parents' original records
dude.
and
I
then
would
some.
like come home from school and like flip through them and like put them on the turntable and shit. And my dad came home early once, and I was listening to "Sticky Fingers" by the Stones, dude, and he lost his fucking mind. And it since I was like 9 years old, I always said I'm gonna fucking see the Stones in concert. And 2018, they did their No Filter tour. I finally got to see him live.
Nice, hell
And
yeah.
Mick Jagger, at the age of 76 at the time, had more fucking swag in him than I've ever had in my entire life, bro.
Dude, so I had a similar experience, right? So when we were kids, bro, when corn hit, they were huge. And I remember like junior high, end of junior high-ish, freshman year-ish, somewhere right in there, their album Issues came out after they were already huge with Freak on a Leash and Ball Tongue and Adidas and all that.
Bro, I
And
remember when they released Shoots and Ladders and I
yeah,
hope that
so
train steps down
that's the original
Boulevard,
one.
bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's the jam, dude. And it was like one of the ones I always wanted to go see. Always wanted to go see forever, dude. And for I don't know why. I've seen so many. I've been to so many concerts, and then
For
you
real.
find then you go to festivals like Warped Tour and all these hard rock, and you see band after band after band all weekend.
Sure.
Check out. That's when you just strike through the whole page of bucket list right there at one time, and so fast forward like 20 years, 20 something years, right? And my daughter, or, my stepkids, we just don't use stepkids. My daughter calls me up and
Sure.
she's like, hey, I got all these tickets to go see Korn and Rob Zombie. And all my
You're
friends
like,
bailed on me for my birthday. And she was like, I really can't think of anybody that to go with but you. And I literally was like, what? Are you serious? Dude. Hey, when I saw Corn, bro, it was like a moment for me. Like just like what you're like, and they're not.
absolutely.
That's not even like one on the top of my list if I could see them. Most of the
Yeah.
top of my list aren't alive anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just the truth. If I could
Like,
put together,
I'm never getting to see the Sex Pistols or the Ramones, bro.
yeah,
That's not
yeah,
gonna
exactly, yeah, exactly.
Iggy Pop, maybe.
Yeah,
Iggy Pop.
or the original Clash, because they've gone through like 10,
Yeah.
15 drummers, and who knows how many other people.
Yeah.
Nirvana,
But
all these
yeah.
greats. But yeah,
I'll tell you this. You want to know the most hilarious concert story ever?
let's hear it.
There's 2 of them, and it's not even my story. It's my lovely wife.
Under the bus, here we go.
So, and none of this is her fault. She's the best part about her, because she's amazing, but she gets caught in these like calamities because of other people.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah. I feel it.
So she wanted to go to the Twins of Evil tour a couple years ago with Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's fucking psyched. We get her the tickets. We go down to Phoenix. Everything's cool. And she's going with her sister. And her sister is obsessed with Rob Zombie. Like, obsessed.
His shows, by the way, are phenomenal.
Yeah. I've seen a couple, dude, and they're amazing.
It's just insane what he does. All the crap that he does is just insane.
So her sister's phone dies, right? And we got her good tickets, like front row center, like could touch them if they wanted to, kind of tickets. Her sister's phone dies, and she's like, you have to take some pictures and film it for me and send them to me later. And the wife is like, fine. And she starts doing it, and Rob Zombie gets down in her face and is like, watch the show.
She got busted by Zombie. That's awesome,
like,
dude.
An inch from her face, dude.
Yeah, but still, dude, what a moment. What a life experience. You know, like we're always talking about like these sick moments, dude.
The other one was her brother was into the punk scene, and he got 2 tickets to see like the Misfits and like Suicidal Tendencies, right?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Dude, I've seen him a bunch of times. So like I already like this is before we got together. So she had no idea about what she was walking into.
No, obviously not. Yeah.
Like has no idea.
That's she a whole breed.
And mind you, she's only like 5'3". She's not like a big person.
Yeah.
And she's like Native American and Latina, right? And walks in, and there's nothing but jack boots, red laces, and shaved heads. like I said, just
like the best you're hoping for is all the sharps out there.
Yeah, just like praying you're gonna find the sharps, dude.
Yeah. I don't even know if half the people listening know what that means. That's hilarious.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I'm like, nobody told you? She's like, no. She showed up in her like Converse.
Oh, dude.
Her sweater. No. I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, that's like, those are like comedy scenes out of movies. They're so golden.
Yeah. Like.
Oh, dude. The Misfits and Suicidal Tendencies, that one, I'd rather get chewed out by Rob Zombie than be in that situation.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Like, I've been to a couple of their shows, dude, and I'm like 6'2", 240, and it's rough for me.
Oh, yeah, dude. Trust me, I grew up with Bad Religion. That's like my favorite punk band from back then, Pennywise and all that. And I loved to mosh. But back then, I wasn't big like I am now, homie. It was work for me. And I can only imagine like seeing my wife 5'3", like a buck or whatever.
Yeah.
Just bing.
Yeah. Like
where the fuck did she go?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like hoping she's down the crowd surf so I can find her again somehow.
Yeah. And dude, her brother is like the same size as she is.
Plus, I would never take her anywhere near that kind of a crowd.
Yeah.
That's just like not judging anybody. This is a judgment-free zone.
I've been there. I know.
Yeah.
And like to me, the best part was like nobody told her. She's like, sweet, I'm gonna go to a show, and she's all psyched, and she's like, oh no. What have I done?
See, like the best is when you go to like Warped Tour and you watch a couple of punk bands like Anti-Flag, who's is like they're all about the punk scene, but they're not about like beating each other to death. They're all like brothers and sisters, you know, that kind of vibe. So I love Anti-Flag too, but and then like an hour later, you see all the same knuckleheads at Bad Religion or Rancid or Pennywise. Yeah. And no, these guys are from a different generation. They're about the real punk rock. And we start slamming people and they're not ready for it. And, yeah.
Dude, I went to a Casualty show and it was the
Yeah.
20th anniversary of the Ramones' Greatest Hits album getting released.
Oh, gnarly, dude.
So
They
they
went
did
nuts.
the first set was from their album Black Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second set, they did the entire Ramones' Greatest Hits album. And in the middle
Oh,
of the pit,
dude, that would have been so
this dude
sick.
headbutted me, and I lost all my front teeth.
Oh. See, that's the one thing I've always been afraid of is my teeth, bro.
No teeth, no problem, bro.
That's true. That's true. Hey, what about I love those guys that are just out there by themselves
So just going
flailing
to
like
town, bro.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like they're having a fucking punk rock metal seizure. It's
Yep.
great. Like what are you just like they just I don't know, dude. It's like a punk rocker at church and they're just overcome with the spirit and they
Right.
just lose it.
Hey, bro, I'll tell you this: Bad Religion has a Christmas album, and we listen to that shit every year.
Dude, so that was like one of my final because I was never able to get to see him, and they came around the Warp Tour when I finally got to see him the first time in 2010. Well, they started in 1980, and so they were celebrating 30 years of punk rock. And
Yeah.
he's out there talking shit like, "Hey, we don't give a fuck. Like, we want you guys to knock yourselves out, have a good time. We're celebrating 30 years, and we came up in punk rock. We are punk rock. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this." And then they would drop into a song, and be like, "This song was written before most of you were born." I'm like, yeah, losing my mind, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to this day, dude, I still have my original punk patch vest. It's got Eddie from the Killers album by Iron Maiden on the back, like this, where he's holding a bloody meat cleaver and shit.
Yeah.
I will still put that shit on and stand in the back like the old punk that I am.
Yeah. Stand in the back, and I'll enjoy the show more than any mother effer in there, bro. Having the time of my life, dude.
Like, I know I'm too old, my knees and back hurt and shit. Like, I'm not doing that this is why my knees and back hurt.
Yeah. Another reason why I cannot be the Dude Network Steve-O.
We'll get you some cortisone shots. It'll be fine.
Dude. One of these days we'll get into what happened to me in 2006 when I was on a jet ski, and then we'll really learn why John Z cannot be the Steve-O. What we should do is get Steve-O on and tell everybody why I should not be the Steve-O of the Dude Network. Did you hear that, Steve-O? I'm sure he's watching. I'm sure he's watching
on the show.
What?
I'm sure. He's where I got the idea for my my broadcast studio.
Oh, really?
Have you seen his podcast, dude?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, do you know he has his own podcast now? And he took a Sprinter van, the ones where like the roof elevates.
Dude. Yeah.
And that's his studio.
Oh, that's
like he'll literally pull up.
I said milk truck, dude, like some old milk truck or something you got sitting out back. I can't wait to see it. But your idea is absolute gold. So
right?
Yeah, it is.
Could you picture anything else? Dude, and I even came up with the idea I'm gonna have a wood burning stove in it.
Yes, yeah. Dude, it just needs to be like the most tiniest trapper cabin ever. Just
that's what I'm going for.
Slapped together. But it's
I want to be able to tow it with my Jeep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like just slightly bigger than an outhouse, like a decent sized outhouse.
Yeah,
but legit,
if I could put a chair and a desk,
yeah,
or like a chair and an end table,
a chair, like it doesn't need to be a huge desk, just a little, like
like an end table, dude, just something to put the computer on,
and then a little wood burning stove. Hey, like we should get. Shout out Timber Stoves. We'll try and get one of them to donate one or something. We'll see what we can do.
Dude. I'm in.
Like one of those little ones, like those pop-up ones they put in tents and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's perfect. You don't need it like dude, if you put a full on, you'd be dead.
Just one that's like this big.
Yeah.
Got some 3 little legs and a stovepipe. Yeah.
You could freaking warm toast on it or
something.
A
little pot of coffee.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that's legit. That's what. See,
Like,
that's my. Those are Johnsy goals too. Is to build like a cook shack, outdoor kitchen setup, and that's where this. It'll be like that, and I'll be sitting here next to like an outdoor stove, cast iron stove,
yeah,
with tea or coffee or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
living like a
Maybe
genius.
maybe that should be our next.
Oh, hey, we got look, someone who pays attention. What happened to the jackalope?
I mean,
There it
that's
is.
I happened to get a new chair, so I had to do a little feng shui. I will
Yeah.
promise that it will be hanging up behind me tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the jackalope is that's a Rev standard.
It's going in the outhouse, that house.
Yeah, dude. What I imagine
Yes.
is like some like, but it's gonna be the Rev White Trash Mike version of like some like what's the word I'm looking for? Pretentious like novelist who's sitting next to a fire about to read his version of a Christmas story or something.
Yeah, in his leather armchair with the
Yeah,
crackling
yeah, yeah,
fire and
yeah.
his
With some
fucking
stuffy ascot or
his,
something. But like the
wearing his
exact
dinky
opposite,
cravat
your
with his
version.
fucking yeah, which is gonna be like a coonskin cap and some overalls.
Yeah, dude, it's great. Oh man. We'll have that between two ferns with Zach Galifianakis and the Rev show.
The Rev's
That's like
outhouse.
those will be
Absolutely.
like the three standards of oh man, that's freaking
Yeah,
hilarious. Dude, this is the longest show ever. We're at an hour 12
yeah,
minutes.
we sure are. Well, on that note, should we do
I don't
campfire
that's
cooking next episode, dude? We were talking about cast iron stoves and outdoor
ooh.
cookery.
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right, hell yeah. I yeah, I just posted a picture of my Dutch oven that I built this tripod thing that I hang it from to cook over a fire,
Nice.
and I literally said I need more of this.
Full
Like
send, bro. Let's do it.
full send. All right.
Indeed.
Well, you heard it here, folks. If you want to know how to cook over fire with cast iron the old school way, tune in next week.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody. Rev, excellent show, man.
Absolutely, brother.